if Balatro wins over Shadow of the Erdtree, that is like the greatest fucking
then that's a win.
troll ever.
Yeah,
if Balatro wins, then that's just a win. The
Like-
corporate stooges.
Oh, welcome to the Pixel Primos Video Game Podcast, the show where we talk about all the latest things in gaming, from games going woke to expensive DLC making you go broke. Hey, I'm Juan Solo.
And I am your morbidly obese magical friend, Paco.
And I'm part of the base game. I'm JJ.
That's right. You don't gotta pay extra to tune into this show. But of course, we gotta acknowledge.
I'm the pre-patch.
He's like, I'm early access.
You could say you're the alpha.
Nicely done.
I come with the pre-order at GameStop.
You're the pre-order
you're
bonus.
The little prize.
Yeah, the pre-order bonus. Pre-order.
Yeah. Actually,
like,
that should be. That could be its own topic later down the line. That like pre-order bonuses have been going down the crapper lately. You know,
why
used
is
to
it
get really cool shit.
200 gigabytes. It's just a skin. It's just me, like fucking 400 pounds.
You know, like back then, you ordered a physical copy at like GameStop or something. It'd be like, hey, you order the new Mario Kart, you get like a little Mario Kart figure or something that goes with it.
Man,
this from the
days.
from the Happy Meal, Donkey Kong.
Those were the days, dude. Especially with Call of Duty. Call of Duty had the best.
Yeah, that's the one I was
like,
gonna say.
I'm going to pre-order Call of Duty. Why? Do you even play the game? No, but I get night vision goggles. Why wouldn't I pre-order that?
Yeah,
I remember
like
the first Black Ops came with the RCXD.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I was like, man, y'all got some good shit. But of course, the other ones like Assassin's Creed and all that came with the really bitchin' statues and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did Metal Gear get anything really cool?
Not
5 had the
hand, didn't it? Didn't it have like the arm?
Yeah, it had like a statue or of the hand, but the fingers are like movable and posable and stuff.
Just like this the whole time.
They didn't really.
That's how I have mine.
Just the whole time.
Metal Gear didn't really do a lot of collector's editions. I think they only did 5.
I think just 5, yeah. Because 4 didn't do anything.
No, the big thing with 4 was the PS3. Like, you could get the PS3 that was the Metal Gear edition, but there wasn't a collector's edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks. What would have been a really good one, though, that didn't get one?
Like a good Metal Gear or just a good game?
No, just a good game in general that didn't come with anything special or cool, but if they did, it would have been badass. Because one of my favorites was the Assassin's Creed 3, because you got that badass fucking tomahawk. That's the one that I really like the most, because you got that badass tomahawk.
Yeah. Honestly, you could list pretty much any Nintendo game, because Nintendo rare, man, like that they do any type of like collector's edition. The most they'll do is they'll partner with like maybe like Best Buy or something, where if you buy the game or you pre-order it, they'll give you like a little like something, you know, included. Like a coin,
like a coin or something. Oh,
Best Buy always does like a little collectible coin. Like I don't know if that's just like their deal, but yeah.
I was about to say that because I remember for Super Mario Galaxy, the first one on the Wii, they did a coin, but they did that with Game Crazy, the one that was with Hollywood Video.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they'll do coins. They'll do actually. Damn, it's not within reach, but for Pikmin, I got like a tote bag for Pikmin 4. And I think that one was through Best Buy also. Yeah. So they'll do little stuff like that. And so I honestly think like pretty much name a Nintendo game and they could do some type of collector's edition, include some cool little
Yeah,
thing
and
with it, but they don't. That's not really their thing. They never
for
really
me,
do
one
anything.
that hasn't really done anything, like collector's edition, one franchise, but it really probably should, and it's very easy for them to do it, is Pokemon. Because
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pokemon's never really done like a collector's edition
Mm-mm.
thing, but like they have all the cards. You could just make like an exclusive card that goes with collector's edition,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
or
yeah. True.
like with every game, there's usually like a new Pokeball or of some
Yeah.
sort, or
Mm-hmm.
you could throw that in there. Like you could have thrown the GS ball with gold and silver.
Actually,
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon Center, like the website when you go buy Pokemon stuff,
Yeah.
they released out of nowhere like this mystery box because that's kind of like the big thing now. When you go to Walmart and Target, you can find these mystery boxes, and they
Mm,
had this really cool. It was only $50. It came with like a little statue, a hat, like two plushies, and I forget what else, but it was a stacked box for like only $50. I was like, that is a great fucking deal. And it could, and
Mm-hmm.
of course, everything that it comes with is just in that box. Like you can only get this hat
Mm-hmm.
or these little
yeah,
statues in this. I think it came with pins as well. I don't remember if it comes with cards. I don't remember. I think it does.
I got some
But
pins. But
yeah, it's got some really cool pins. It's all random. It's just you're just gonna get some random ass shit, which is like that's what I like about Pokemon. You can make all kinds of collectible shit out of it.
Yeah.
That's where all my money goes right now. All the Pokemon cards and the shitty pull rates. God damn it! Both online on the freaking pocket game
On the
and in
app.
real life, I'm getting shit
yeah,
pulls, man. It started
I
pissing
haven't
me
been
off.
getting anything good in the in
I'm
the
like, son of a bitch. I missed out because of the trade night here.
uh
If you they bought
Mm-hmm.
like a whole case of like the new like Surging Spark set,
mm,
and they did a waffle. Like, hey man, it was I think the buy-in was like $90 or something like that was the buy-in, and they pulled like three or four of the really expensive Pikachu cards, the chase cards that everybody's after. They
Mm-hmm.
pulled like three or four of them out of that box that
damn.
they pulled. I was like, holy shit, you lucky bastards! I should have, but I wasn't even in town. It was when I was in Austin, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh well, I
No.
missed out on that.
Yeah. We were gonna go to the collector's night also, but we ended up just going out buying tacos and then coming back home to watch anime instead.
I mean, you really didn't lose there. Like, I mean, it's a
I
great night to
didn't.
me. Like, it's like, well, tacos and anime or trade night. Either or,
Right.
I'm winning. Either way, I'm winning.
I still got to
Yeah.
catch up on Dandadan.
I'm waiting till
I'm
it's done with this first so I can watch it.
I
I'm
think I'm
just
like
one episode behind,
I think I'm
but I'm
right there with
basically
you.
caught up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ranma, same thing. I'm just missing the newest one.
Ranma and Dandadan, I'm trying to like even them out because they came out like
Mm-hmm.
within the same week. So I'm
Right.
trying to be like, I'm on episode 5 of Ranma. That means I have to be on episode 5 of
Episode
Dandadan.
5 of.
By the way, if any of our viewers, if you're Hispanic or you know Spanish, the Spanish dubs of pretty much every anime is peak.
Yes.
It's just like especially
Latin American
like,
Spanish. Nah, none of this
none of this
Castellano bullshit.
Castellano bullshit. No, the Latin
None of this
American,
Onda Vital or what the fuck they
nothing
call the
with this fake
Kamehameha.
ass fucking list that they be giving themselves.
Mhm.
But watch Chainsaw Man or Spy Family. Holy
Yes.
shit, it's hilarious. Especially if you're
Chainsaw
a
Man,
Mexican
I highly recommend watching
in
it
Spanish.
in Spanish if you understand
If you understand it, it's
the
fucking
language.
hilarious.
It's to the point where we're considering when the Chainsaw Man movie comes out,
Gotta go across the border.
crossing to
Going to
yeah,
Mexico.
to watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
going to
to watch
Mexico.
it.
Dude, that's
And
Sinopolis. Dude.
mhm.
I'm sorry, America, but Sinopolis in Mexico, they got like 15 different kinds of fucking popcorn and
Yeah,
all these amazing snacks. I'm like, sorry, man. Studio Movie Grill, up the game.
some of the merch they get is also
Dude,
like
they
a
get some
lot better
cool
than
ass
the
merch.
stuff like
Yeah.
we get. The
Oh,
and
well, oh yeah, but the only reason I brought this up was because speaking of theater merch, I saw a piece of theater merch while I was buying my popcorn and my ticket, that I kind of want, but also I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this movie, but this piece of merch is pretty dope. Apparently, the Regal theaters have a beer stein, like a silver, like actual fucking like
Uh huh.
mug beer stein. I mean, I didn't hold it, so it might be cheap as fuck, but
Uh-huh.
but it looks like it's made of metal, and it's all etched out and stuff on the outside. You want to take a guess what movie that was for?
Okay, it was a
Mm,
beer stein.
beer
Yes.
steins.
Think German. Don't focus so much on the beer sign, but think German. Think Eastern Europe.
Ugh.
Folklore. Round wintry times.
And
Krampus.
the Lord of
Yes.
the Rings. Oh,
No.
Krampus.
Krampus.
It's Krampus's beer stein to promote the Rock movie.
Red one.
Red one. Oh my fucking god.
Jesus.
Oh my god. God
Well,
damn
like
it.
if you guys go online, it's like $30. I might buy it. I might
I'm looking
wait
this
for
shit up
like
right
Red
now.
One to like leave theaters to see if it goes
It-
cheaper.
It's funny you mentioned that
I'm looking this
because
shit up right now.
at
Just
at Cinemark, we because there's like three cashier lanes, and we were on the furthest on the left, and on the display, which is all furthest to the right, they had like a Tumblr club, and it
Yeah.
was like a light baby blue covered in glitter. It looked really cute. Lily saw it and was like, "Oh, that looks really cute. I think I want that." But then when she goes to the cashier, she asks like, "Hey, that cup over there, what movie is it?"
Mm.
And she said, "Oh, it's for Wicked." And she's like, "Oh, well, can I have it then?" "Sure." And then she goes to grab it, and Lily's like, "No, no, 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 that's not the one I was talking about. The other one over there." "Oh, that one. That one's from Moana." And then she's grabbing it, and Lily's like, "No, no, no, I don't want it." "Oh, okay, yeah." So it was like, "No, no, no. If it was for Wicked, I want it." She's like, "I don't, not for Moana." Even though it's the same damn cup. But you know what? I get it. I respect that. Because, yeah, in that instance, it's like, that's a cool cup. What is it for? Red one? Never mind.
Yeah.
it
But,
does look like a cool ass cup. Like
It is a dope cup. Like the handle's an actual like horn, or
yeah.
it
you
looks
know,
like a horn. Like it looks pretty badass. So I might
Apparently it's
get it.
I think it's full metal because it's on Amazon. Looks like that looks fucking cool. I might just fucking
nice.
order it just to fucking order it. I don't really want to watch the movie, but I'll watch it. If
Oh hell no, I'm not watching
Mm.
I, you know what, the one thing that bothers me about some of this merch with these new, like,
Mhm.
popcorn buckets and everything, it's not enough
Mhm.
popcorn. My fat ass wants a lot of popcorn. It's like the
Yeah,
red
they
one,
started.
for example. It's like that's like a handful of popcorn, and I'm paying 30
Mhm.
bucks for the fucking sled here. Like, at least give me
Yeah,
a large.
they used to do the large ones. Now they're doing the buckets or the medium. It's
Yeah.
a medium popcorn, but it has like the movie logo design or whatever on the
Yeah,
outside. And then the cups, they used to be large cups, and no, the cups are also shrinking in
Yeah,
size
the
as
cups are
well.
also medium. They
Mm-hmm.
had some of the gladiator cups. Like it
Mm-hmm.
has the helmet, even though he doesn't fucking wear a helmet. And damn it,
He does.
yeah, that's something that bothers the shit out of me too.
they're
All
coasting
right,
so much
we
on
need
the
to
first one.
we need to move on though. So,
It's
Yeah,
a
we do.
stainless.
Yeah.
It's stainless steel, by the way. That Krampusstein, according to Amazon, is stainless
okay,
steel.
All right,
so that's
next
not.
check, I might go.
Yeah, same. I'm like,
Mhm.
I might have to buy it. I'm probably gonna order it off Amazon just because it looks cool.
Let me know if when they get the Sonic the Hedgehog merch because I want that cup.
Yeah, for
Supposedly the
Regal.
Cinemark, no, the Cinemark one
Okay.
supposedly is the cup, and then it has like a little figure on the top of the
Oh, on
cup.
the top.
With the mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I think Regal is getting a similar one, but they're only getting two figures. One is of like Shadow sitting in like a throne and then or like a chair, and then the other one's of Sonic also sitting in a chair. I said throne, but now that I think about it, I think it's supposed to be like a movie seat, like a theater
Yeah,
seat.
that makes sense because they were like I saw a lot of Sonic and Knuckles and Tails and Shadow waiting for the movie to start.
Oh yeah, it. I saw that too. Of that before Gladiator started, they
Like they
played like
were,
an ad where it's the
yeah,
four of them sitting down, getting
yeah.
ready to watch the movie, and I think it's funny because like Sonic the Hedgehog's like tech, like it's a kids movie, but they're promoting Gladiator, the
Yeah.
most R-rated movie. All right. But that's enough about Gladiator. Let us move
Yeah.
on. We gotta acknowledge our alphas, our fans. We got we got a comment
Let me
from
guess. Our rock,
Mhm.
the one who holds us down. Is it Jojira?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It is our boy, Jojira, leaving a comment on our Jolly Somali episode. However, his comment is talking about the Korean Army story. His comment, oh God, I'm gonna do my best to read it properly. I hope I don't butcher it, but it's like his comment reads, "Hello, Korean comrades. Enjoy our greatest film. It is Kremlin Kings, starring Boris Banginov and Natasha Kinsky."
It's a good movie, by the way.
Right.
3 stars.
Putin gave it 3 bear claws out of 4.
Mhm.
Something I was gonna say something, but like I was like something with Sputnik, but I was like,
We called
it
it
didn't come to me.
Sputnik.
By the way, when I say Putin, I don't mean president. I mean porn star Putin.
Putin.
That, that's his name.
Great work.
Comrade, you have to understand the Russian language is all puns.
We Russians are renowned for our humor.
Oh, all right.
All
So,
right.
I guess real quick before we jump into our main topic, what games are you guys playing right now?
I can tell you one game I'm not playing, but I'll save that to the end. Right now, just still kicking ass on No Man's Sky.
Oh, all right.
That's what I'm playing right now. It's just something that's kind of soothes me after a long ass day of work. Um, that's really just all I'm playing right now. I haven't had time to really pick up anything else. Really,
Mhm.
for my job right now. It's kind of our busy season. You know, holidays. We got a lot of events, a lot of stuff we got to do. So I have to stay late at work and do a bunch of other stuff. So it's the only thing I've been able to play so far was No Man's Sky and a little bit of Warzone here and there, but Warzone's kind of failing me right now. But you know they're about to do the 24-hour stuff and 24/7 maps and you know some double XP weekends, so I might hit that back up again.
Mhm.
Me, I've been honestly what I've been probably spending the most time with is the Pokemon trading card game Pocket
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
because I've been doing like all the battles. I tried to get the Lapras from
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
EX Lapras from the Lapras event.
Mhm.
I did get it, but like
Mhm.
at the very last day, I was like, well, I have like all these hourglasses that I haven't spent. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna cash them all in, see if I can get me another Lapras. I battled like in the expert level like 10 times, and none of them were a fucking Lapras.
Ah, fuck.
That day, I mean, I already had like 3, I think, but I was still like, well, like I want to give it like sparklies because
Yeah.
you can
Mhm.
trash your cards to give it sparklies, or trash your dupes, and yeah, no, I didn't get it. Like, I can make a sparkly Pikachu and a sparkly fucking Butterfree.
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 King of the Hill.
Oh.
And uh only recently I started replaying Like a Dragon, Yakuza 7
Mhm.
for
Nice.
because I hadn't finished it, and I made it about halfway through. Like when I loaded my save, my PlayStation did something fucking weird though, because
What?
I I originally bought it for the PS4,
Mm-hmm.
and I can play it on the PS5. Uh, so I did, but I didn't put the disc in. Usually, when it's like a PS4 game that you have the
Mm-hmm.
disc for, it's like, oh, you got to put the disc
Yeah,
in,
you
bro.
need to
Like,
put it.
Yeah.
I didn't put it in, and it played it like loaded it up fine, and I played through like the opening because I restarted because I was like, I don't remember what the fuck's going on. There was a baby in a locker, like.
Mm-hmm.
So I restarted and I played through the opening, and then it was getting kind of late, so I left it like on standby. I just paused the game, left it on standby, and then the next day I tried to play it, and it's like, oh no, 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 you got to put the disc in. But last night I didn't. Like, baby, come on, what's going on? What are you doing to me? But I still have the disc. I just thought that was weird. It's never done that to me. Usually
Yeah,
it's
that
like
is.
usually
Hmm.
it tells me from jump, like
Yeah,
with Cyberpunk, it's like, no,
you
you gotta
need the
put the
disc.
you
Yeah.
need the disc. I don't care that you
Hmm.
downloaded the PS5 version. You need the disc.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah, that is. Hmm. Okay, that's weird. All
but
right.
yeah, those are the two that I've been spending my time with lately.
All right. So two games I'm playing right now. So I'm taking advantage of the fact that there's nothing like that caught my attention coming out for the remainder of the year because
Mm.
this is what I do. I have a list on my phone on like their notepad app where I write down the games that are coming out that catch my attention, and I put them in order by release date. And so then that way I know like I can see visually like which one should I save money for, which one am I willing to like, you know what, let me skip on it until it drops in price or you know, just so I can have a reference of if I buy this game, will I have enough money by the time this other game comes out, budget myself. And so when I took a look at that list, I saw that yeah, I've got nothing for the remainder of the year. And I think the next big budget one that's coming out is probably Assassin's Creed, and that's not till February because it got delayed.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I'm like, let me take advantage of these next couple of months where I don't, have anything new to play to start working on, the backlog. So I started playing Persona 5 Royal again. Because to be clear, I have finished Persona 5 base, but I never finished Royal. And for those of you that don't know, it is different because there's new story elements and there's a whole ass new character in that one that isn't even in the original. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
basically
And there's
uh
another, apart from, the party member, there's another confidant too, right? Like one that
I
doesn't join
believe
the party.
I
Yeah.
believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's basically a new game almost. So because even the dungeons and stuff are like remapped, they're different. So it is essentially like a new game. So I'm like, let me replay that one first because that one's gonna take me the longest, and we'll see if I can finish it before I get distracted and play something else. So that's the first game I'm playing. Now the second game I'm playing, which is gonna transition us into our main topic, is a card game called Balatro.
Man, that's the one thing I ain't fucking playing. You ain't gonna convince me to play
So,
that shit.
which will
Hell
lead us
no.
to the main topic, the Game Awards. I swear, every Game Awards, every year,
Mm.
there's always controversy.
But they're trying to make it
Something,
Hollywood.
right? And and it sucks because I genuinely feel like Jeff Keighley, and this is how I personally feel. You guys in the comments can let me know if I'm a fucking moron for thinking this, but I genuinely feel like I think he actually gives a shit, and he's trying to legitimize video games as a medium, as an entertainment,
Mhm.
maybe even as an art
Yeah.
form. And so I do think he genuinely wants the Game Awards to be taken seriously. He wants the awards to be considered as prestigious as, say, an Oscar or a Tony or an Emmy.
Mhm.
And so that's why I do want to give him credit. So that's why it sucks that, like, whenever there's like a misstep, like it's just the dog pile.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think especially because he's he's older. He's like I don't think much older than me, but he's around my age and at the time, especially at the time that he was coming up in the media space, video games were like you were still hearing like, oh, video games only virgins play those. Like those were the jokes that were still being around and they're still tossed around like to
Yeah.
this
And you
day.
still hear that.
Yeah. Even though that
Mhm.
like, everyone plays video games. Like women play video games. Women are the biggest like consumers of video games. They just happen to play on mobile, but
Yes.
that doesn't
Yes. Yeah.
mean that it's not video games still. Like um so I
Yeah.
think
Mhm.
you're right in that to me he does come off as like legitimately trying to um legitimize video games, so to speak. But that also means that he kind of has to play the game, and that does mean that he's going to have to do some shit that's like
Mhm.
to benefit the
Mhm.
advertisers and not
Yes.
so much to benefit the show itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with both of you. I never really watched video game awards until this last year, and I really don't know who Jeff Keighley or any of these people are because I grew up
Dorito
with
Pope forever
the
may he
old school
reign.
stuff, and then I just stopped playing for a long. eh, I stopped playing for a long time, and then now that I got back into it, now I'm all confused. Just like with Pokemon, I'm like, who are these people and what is going on? But yeah, I started watching the Video Games Awards this last year, and I think a lot of people have the same sentiments as like, he's trying to make it, even for as long as video games have been out, and for as much money as they make, and how much fun they are, and for some people, video games are life. They've gotten us through like these hard times. I mean, they didn't video games like blow up in there during COVID because what else are you gonna do? Where
Yeah.
else you gonna go? Play video games to keep yourself entertained. And I think it sucks that people still don't take it as a serious medium, which really kind of bothers me. Some of the comments that I read on Twitter and stuff, and even on like some YouTube comments, they're like, "Oh, he just wants to get he wants to make the video game awards Hollywood. He wants to be accepted by Hollywood."
Mhm.
And I mean, I think they're right, but again, you guys are right. He has to play the game. You
Yeah.
want to be
Mhm.
recognized, you have to play the game, and you're gonna probably have to throw in some shit in there that's not really going to be your style or the style of everybody else, but you got to get the attention of the general public. And I mean, it is starting to garner
Mhm.
the attention of the general public. There are
Yeah.
more people that I'm finding that I never thought would be into video games or playing video games are actually kind of exploring, like, oh, well, this is actually kind of fun, blah, blah, blah. That's why I'm not going to give that much hate to Balatro, even though I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, to me, it's just poker. Like, it's like it's not life changing. It's not like, dude, I was watching a YouTube video about it, and this dude was dick riding it so hard. He's like, I have 400 hours into this game, and it's blah blah blah. Me, dude, this is like the beginning when Candy Crush first came out, when people were like spending their life savings on Candy Crush and shit. That's what it feels like to me. It's like, dude, is it really that good? Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have to spend the $10 and see for myself. Um, but hey, I mean, yeah, let's I wish the video game awards were taken more seriously. I do wish that these, I guess, just Keeley and everybody is doing what they have to do to for people to take it seriously and be like, yeah, man, the video games awards are I mean, I think it would be great if it was like an event like the Oscars. You know how Oscars are coming up and it's like, dude, it's Oscar season. I can't wait to hear, like, dude, it's Game Award season. It's coming up. What are we excited for? What's gonna happen? What are we gonna see?
Mhm.
Who are we gonna see? That's I mean, like, yeah, the Oscars grew into this big thing. It's not just about the Oscars anymore. It's like a fashion show, and it's this and it's that, and with the video game awards, if it were to become something like that, I think it would open a lot of doors and really, go in these beautiful directions that we
Uh,
just can't fathom yet.
I mean, it kind of is. Let's face it. The Game Awards, it really is just their version of like
The Oscars.
E3.
Yeah.
Show off what are you working on, what
Yeah.
are things that we can expect. It's the Game Awards is a big giant commercial, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and you don't really have that with the Oscars because, well, you everybody already we have the internet. If you want to see what movies are coming out, you could just look online.
Yeah.
You're never gonna see like, oh, we're gonna drop an exclusive trailer at the Oscars. Like,
Yeah.
they're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But at the Game Awards, it's 100% totally normal to,
Yeah.
hey, that is new game that you're waiting on. We're gonna drop a trailer at the game. Like, it's
Yeah.
normal. Is but uh, I think
And
uh,
I mean, it's
I think
also.
that's probably like the biggest gripe with it. But sorry.
I was just gonna say that it's also not just a commercial for what's upcoming. It's a commercial for stuff you might have missed because, like, a lot of shit comes out in a year, especially
Yeah.
when you
Mm-hmm.
factor in indie games. Like, there's a ton
Yeah.
of crap that, like, I haven't played, especially this year for
Mm-hmm.
me since I lost my job. I'm like, I'm not out buying games. I'm spending that money on rotisserie chickens and $8 hot and ready's.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so like
Amen.
for
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
so for me and other people that are like struggling financially, like where your dollars really matter, like what you're gonna spend your entertainment money on, watching something like the Game Awards to see like, all right, well, I know that at least these are gonna be good, like at least these are all great. Like, I'm not running
Yeah.
out
Mm-hmm.
and buying like Steam trash asset flips. Like, these are all vetted, these are all good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And they also have longevity. Those games have
Mm-hmm.
longevity. Like, yeah, they're like, for example, Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate, people are still all hyped up about that. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Mark was playing it right now.
that's the other thing about the Game Awards. It's like, you're right. Yeah, it's like, dude, this stuff is all good. It's you're gonna have more than 10 hours, 8 hours. You're gonna have a whole slew of shit to do in this game.
Yeah. And so I guess we can move on to some of the controversy surrounding the awards this year. And all of them, because the award show hasn't happened yet. So right now, all the controversy is regarding the
The
rules
nominations.
and their nominations. So let's start with the big one. This is definitely the biggest one that everybody is up in arms about, and that is the nominations for Game of the Year.
Yep.
So I should have pulled it up sooner, but I did
I
not
already have it.
because. Oh, okay. Well, do you mind reading them?
Yeah, so for Game of the Year, the nominations are Astrobots, uh, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasio or Refantasio.
Yeah.
Those are your
Yeah.
Game of the Year nominees.
So, for those that heard the nominations and like, what's the big deal? Where's the controversy? So,
There's two there.
Elden Ring, yeah,
Yeah,
there's two. There is two, but let's talk about the bigger one first. So,
Yeah.
Elden Ring won Game of the Year. already.
Yeah.
So then how is it nominated again? And it's because, well, they dropped an expansion.
A DLC, if you will.
Yes, called Shadows of the Erdtree. And so in leading up bef- to the awards, they updated their frequently asked questions on the website, saying that, I'm trying to find the exact quote, and I can't find it. But yes, they did update
Let me see if
their
I can,
their
because you
rules.
sent it to us in the chat. So
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull it up because I gave up trying to find the website. All right, so here we go. So they updated their frequently asked questions page with the question: are DLCs, downloadable content, expansion packs, and remakes remasters eligible? To which they responded to that saying, the Game Awards aims to recognize the best creative and technical work each year, irrespective of the format of that content's release. Expansion packs, new game seasons, DLCs, remakes, and remasters are eligible in all categories if the jury deems the new creative and technical work to be worthy of a nomination. Factors such as the newness of the content and its price value should be taken into consideration. So, in other words, basically, if the people voting on it, aka the jury, they think it's fine, then they're gonna allow it. And so they updated their frequently asked questions to include that, and likewise they made it clear to the jurors that were voting on the nominations about that rule, basically clarifying it to them. So we can interpret one of two things from this. It's either that the jurors, the people that actually were picking the nominations, were genuinely asking them, hey, can I put Shadows of the Erdtree as a nomination? And they had to clarify the rules for them. So that's why they updated the frequently asked questions. Or they foresaw this and then they did it themselves to kind of just clear up, hey, if you guys like Elden Ring and you want to nominate it again, it's perfectly fine.
mm.
It's within the rules. And so this is where, yeah, as far as I can tell, based on my online algorithms, I'm seeing most people are saying that it should not have been eligible. That
That's what
people
I'm seeing.
defending it seem to be in the minority. At least that's how it looks like on my end.
Same.
I yeah, I agree with
The algorithm.
yeah, with it not being game of the year.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
a game of the year nomination. If here's my standing on it. And it's going to be a little like between the fence, because I can see the argument for why you would want to have like a rule like that in place where like yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
can nominate an expansion for game of the year. But the only like exception that I see that for, and that I'm willing to agree with it, is for MMOs, because MMOs don't put out a 2 or a 3. Like they don't
Yeah.
put out a sequel they put out an expansion, which is effectively a sequel, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I could see it in that case.
And
Elden
I
Ring is a single player game.
I want to add to
Standalone
that
game.
really quick, like just to interrupt you for just a sec. I want to add to that by saying that they kind of already have a solution to that because they have an award
For
for
ongoing.
best
Ongoing
ongoing.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I and yeah, like that's where that would go. But at the same time, like I don't like World of Warcraft, but people really, really dug what was the last one? Dragonflight.
Hmm.
People were really, really into that one.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, this is sort of a return to form because they changed up a lot of the way it works, or a lot of the formula that people were starting to get tired of with previous with expansions from
Hmm.
all the way from, god damn it, Warlords of Draenor all the
Hmm.
way up to fuck Shadowlands,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
like people were like, this is the same bullshit over and over and over and over again, like they're tired of it. And then Dragonflight is like, holy crap, like you guys actually give a fuck again, hooray. like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
this is good. So see I could see the argument for that to be nominated, because not only uh hair not only is it like, this is completely different than even vanilla WoW, like even like the last expansion. It's a completely new flavor. You're changing up a lot of the formula. It's new, it's different, it's good, but it's still WoW.
Mm-hmm.
But also it reaffirms that to the corpos running Activision. Well, now it's Microsoft, but right, but
Hmm.
like, if they, because the corpos don't care so long as it makes money, but if
It
they
makes
Yeah.
get a
money.
game of the year, that means they're going to get
Hmm.
more
That's
money.
That more money
yeah.
gonna be spent.
So I can
Hmm.
see that for that very specific case,
Hmm.
but like, From Software is gonna From Software. They're gonna keep making their shit. Like,
Yeah.
Hmm.
the Demon Souls didn't make money. It wasn't until Dark Souls 2 that they started to make money. Well, I mean, they were always successful, right? But not, they weren't hits the way that they are now. They didn't like kickstart a whole new genre until
Yeah.
Demon Souls 2
Hmm.
or
Yeah,
Dark
and
Souls 2.
no, I agree with you like 100%. I think it's fair to say that all of us are on board and that we don't agree with DLC being categories or nominees, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
for being eligible for game of the year.
It should
And
be
I
its own category.
It
it
Like,
really
should be its
should.
own
DLC should
category
be its
is
own category.
uh-huh, especially because you had Cyberpunk. I believe it was last year or was it this year? I don't even remember when they dropped
Phantom
their
Liberty.
update.
Phantom Liberty.
Yeah, and that one was pretty significant because it completely revamped the base game.
Yeah.
It changed mechanics. It completely redid the skill tree. It it wasn't just DLC and expansion. It also reworked the base game
Yeah,
so that it would fit the expansion, the DLC. And
that's
so,
that's also something WoW does. Like that,
mm-hmm,
you're getting my point across a little bit better, but also that's still a single player game, so it's
Yeah.
still in
yeah.
that gray area. But go on.
And I guess yeah, we're leading to the same thing that expansions and DLC should have
Own
their
category.
own category in that sense, especially considering that like yeah, there is a lot of work that goes into doing stuff like this. But the thing that I also want to clear up is that look, I haven't played Shadows of the Erdtree, so I don't know how deep that DLC goes, how much it changed. Because for all we know, like all the shit I'm listing about Cyberpunk, Shadows of the Erdtree could have probably done the same thing for Elden Ring. I honestly wouldn't know, but my argument would still be the same thing because I
Yeah.
would be saying the same thing if they did it with Cyberpunk. That if
Yeah.
Cyberpunk was up for Game of the Year, I'd be like, no, like it should be in its own category
It really
Hmm.
should.
for DLC. Um, but yeah, it 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 puts all of this in like a gray area. Yeah, like you were saying, Jay. And no, and I loved your explanation with the with the corpos and stuff, the higher ups, the dudes in the suits calling all the shots,
All they
because
care
yeah,
about is their bottom line.
yeah. And
That
if it gets a Game of the Year nomination again,
yeah.
well, that is more money, and that would explain. Well, yeah, a
But
lot of
also,
the stuff.
I think it would set a bad precedent as well.
If
You
it
I
think
mean,
so?
you're
wins,
right.
yeah.
If it wins, I think it would set a bad precedent, especially even
Mm.
in the eyes of a corpo. They'd be like, "Well, shit, just do DLC. We'll probably win another Game of the Year awards or whatever." I think it would set a bad precedent.
That's
I
And
didn't even
already
consider that.
yeah,
yeah,
and I,
that's
huh?
well no, you go ahead.
Oh no, I mean, like I'm just agreeing with you guys, and I'm agreeing with you and Juan that yeah, we haven't. I haven't played Shadows of the Erdtree either. Like you're right, it could have completely changed the whole base game and everything, but the argument still stands. It's a DLC of a single player game. If it's that good, it should be acknowledged. Then there should be a new category, a DLC category. And I'm sure there's somebody out there who's going to tell me that I'm wrong, and they're probably right because I don't know as much. But I just like the way I see it now is like, dude, Elden Ring already won, the base game already won. Now that this DLC, this new stuff, that should be its own category. That at least that's where I stand.
Yeah. My thing is that Game of the Year should always be celebrating the new,
The
what
new
came out
stuff,
this year, what came out, that year of nominations. Because you run the risk of, yeah, just having like a fucking
rehashing.
Fortnite win every single
Yeah,
year. Like, that's not, I mean, I'm not saying that Fortnite will win every single year
yeah.
if it's eligible, but that's something that we're opening the door to where it's like,
Hmm.
well, like there are people out
Well,
there that
yeah.
only play Fortnite, so for
Yeah.
and
It's like
and
so.
I do,
So season 3 of Fortnite and
uh,
season 6 of Warzone should be at Game of
and
the Year every fucking year.
and and just to bring it back to like Persona 5 again. So Persona 5 is its own game, and Persona 5 Royal is also its own game. Wait a minute, Juan. Earlier you mentioned that yes, I know what I said, but hear me out. That Persona 5 Royal is not an expansion, it's not DLC, it's its own game.
Separate
You have
standalone.
to pay full price to play that game. It is on its own disc. It is a separate thing. So, in that sense, Persona 5, when that came out, could have been nominated for Game of the Year. And then when Persona 5 Royal came out, it also could have been nominated for Game of the Year because it was a full standalone game. You have to go back to the store, pay full price to buy it. Compared to Shadows of the Erdtree, you can't buy that on its own. You need Elden Ring, and then you need to buy this upgrade on top of it. So I think that's the significant difference as well. Is that can you play this by itself? If the answer is no, then it's DLC, it's an expansion, and yeah, it should have its own category. However, if you could play it by itself, then I think there's an argument to be made that it would count as its own game.
You gotta
But
pay AAA money.
yeah, so should we move on to the next controversy then?
I'm just gonna
Yes.
say one more thing real
Okay,
fast.
go for it. Go for it.
The only argument I can see against not wanting to make it its own category is that there are years where there isn't like a very big DLC that
Mm-hmm.
drops. And to that I say there are also years where racing games don't fucking come out.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
don't have that
Fighting
category
games.
that
Yeah.
year. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah.
Yep.
No
like
significant DLC drop. No good DLC drop. Well,
Mm-hmm.
nobody's getting a fucking award because nothing was
there's
good
no
enough this
nominations
year.
this
No
year because there
nominations.
wasn't
So
any like really
yeah.
significant or impactful DLCs, and that's
Every
fine.
time that happens,
That
they
is
should.
totally fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every time that happens, when there's no fighting game for the year or no racing game for the year, they should do what they do in the Oscars for the people they've lost. The memory thing, and they should just do the games in the past, or like, oh, best racing game of last year. They just show the games, remembrance or whatever. No, it's not just
The
remembrance.
in
In
memoriam.
memoriam. in memoriam, doing in memoriam for the catalog categories that just didn't make it this year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right,
I
now we
mean,
can go to
Now we
this.
can go to our
all
next
right. Now we will.
controversy.
All right. It's also in the Game of the Year nomination. So yeah, let's talk about Balatro.
That
So
bullshit Balatro.
all right. So I mentioned earlier I was playing that game. So for those of you that are like, "What the fuck is a Balatro?" um, it is a mobile game, and it, at least on the Google Play Store, I paid $10 for it to download. To my understanding, it's not a free game.
Mm.
Wherever you play it, because I think there is a like a console or a PC version that you can
Oh.
play.
Yeah, I think it was a console or PC game before it was mobile. It was like
Ah,
Vampire Survivor, where they just like, well, this
mm,
game is simple enough that we could port it to mobile.
So
mm,
it's solitaire.
mhm.
It's a very advanced solitaire. Is what
So,
we're talking about right now. Can't
yeah,
believe
and
this.
so it's a yeah. To explain what it is yeah, it's a card game. It's basically poker rogue like, in the sense that, to just dumb it down even more, is it's essentially you're making like poker hands, think like a pair, two pairs, straight, flush, full house, all that stuff, um while trying to earn points. And you need to get a certain amount of points so that you can move on. And then there are these joker cards that are thrown in at the end of every round that change up the rules in some ways, where certain cards have more value, give you certain perks, you can draw more cards in certain turns, stuff like that, you name it. And it's a roguelike in the sense that, yeah, it keeps changing every time. The joker cards you get, the wild cards, whatever you want to call them, that change up the rules. You get new ones every time. It's random. And this is very much one of those games where, once you play it for a bit and it hooks you and you understand how it works, it is very easily to just get sucked into it and be like, oh, just one more round, one more turn, one more.
Mm.
And that's why it's kind of fair to compare it to solitaire, in the sense that, when, I mean, I wouldn't even say when it first came out. I think even to this day, you could play around a solitaire and then still be like, let me have one more go. Let me try one more. And this game is essentially the same thing, even though you are really just, playing poker, quote unquote, against a computer.
Can you win real
Uh,
money?
no.
Then the game's useless. Get rid of it. If I'm playing this exciting ass poker with rogue Joker cards, but I don't get to win real money or crypto, out of here. Quítalo de aquí. Get it out of my face.
Alright. So the controversy in this one is that, well, it is a mobile game and it's nominated for Game of the Year. Now, this is where I have a bit of a hot take.
Okay.
I enjoy this game. I do like Balatro.
Okay.
With that said, though,
He's gone.
I am not in the camp of that this is a life changing game, that I am not in the camp of, oh my god, I put so many hours into this. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still playing it
Yeah.
and I'm still liking it, but I am didn't buy into the hype. It is good, and I will say, like, it's definitely a fun game to play if you're just, on break, or you got
Mhm.
5 minutes to, it is a very easy, quick pick up and play. But again, it's not free. You do have to pay money to play it. But on the bright side, because it is a paid game, there's no ads, there is no microtransactions, there is
Oh,
no premium, like, bullshit. It is standalone. Once you
you
pay the
you
money,
you get the
yeah.
game.
you get the game and there's no extra bullshit. You can't pay real money to get those extra Joker cards or to get you gotta earn that shit.
You
Oh,
don't have to wait 12 hours
Hmm.
before you
12
can
12
hours to open
hours to
another
play
pack.
another round. Yeah,
I'm
no.
sitting here at 12
Uh,
hours like, oh my god, I need another pack.
and and I know that we mentioned that there is a PC version, but honestly, I do think if you're gonna play it, I
Mobile.
I do think play it on the phone. I think
Mobile is
that's
the way to go.
the better approach. And who knows, it might actually be cheaper on the phone compared to the PC, but
Could be,
don't
unless it's
quote me on
on
that.
Game Pass.
But yeah, I guess it's kind of it's almost kind of like seeing Candy Crush be nominated for Game of the Year. It's it to Balatro's credit. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That this small game made by, I honestly think it was made by one guy, is
All power
getting
to
this
that
much
guy.
attention, and then you got nominated for Game of the Year. Like, holy fuck, that's incredible. I would be bragging about that to everybody, right?
As he should.
So like, I am not trying to shit on this. Like, no, this is incredible. But I just personally am in the camp of, I don't think it should have been nominated for Game of the Year, as incredible as the game is, mainly because, again, I didn't really buy into the hype too much. It is a good game, it is fun, but I don't think it's Game of the Year worthy. And it is nominated for Best Mobile Game too, so
Yeah.
that's also, yeah.
I I mean, I'm with you. I'm not hating on it, or I'm not really hating on it. Like, hey, if it's a fun game, fun card game to play on your phone, great. I just don't buy into the hype. I just think it's overhyped. That's all. And like
Mhm.
I said, I've been seeing videos of people that look like freaking Tyrone Biggums, looking like crackheads, like playing this game and talking about it. I was like, I'm sorry, it's not my kind of like hype game. It
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like the best way I guess I can compare it to. I used to argue with a guy at one of my old jobs. We used to
Mm.
argue about the song "Radioactive" by
Okay, by
Imagine
Imagine
Dragons.
Dragons.
He was vehemently. I mean, like we would fight because he was dead set that "Radioactive" was a hype song. Like
Really?
No.
he was in the camp of like
Nah.
Radioactive is a
I
hype song.
would.
And his only argument was because, during the NBA, during the commercials, they would play that song during
It
like the
was used
NBA
in a
commercials.
bunch of movie
But
trailers
yeah, and I
also,
was like,
yeah.
bro, this song is whack. Imagine Dragons is whack. I was like, that guy is whack. This is whack. Like I was like, this is not like if I want a hype song, I'm not gonna put on Imagine Dragons at
No.
all because even the band doesn't even sound that cool. Imagine Dragons. I'm thinking I'm gonna go play a bitching game of D&D or something else. But Radioactive is not my hype song, and so at Balatro, I was like, cool. It's probably a really fun card game, but I just don't see it as this big hype. Like, oh my god, it's changing my life. I can't live without it. I'm glad that this dude, whoever designed it, is getting the recognition that he's getting, but I'm just not in the camp of hyping it up. I just think it's overhyped.
Mhm.
That's it. That's it. That's I'm gonna have to play it just so I can be like, okay, it's fun, but it's not game of the year. To me, it's not game of the year worthy. I just don't think so.
Mhm.
Next week, I come back and be like,
However, however,
yo, I sold my
however,
car
I
for
want to say, if
Balatro.
Balatro wins over Shadow of the Erdtree, that is like the greatest fucking
Then that's a win. I feel
troll
like
ever.
Yeah,
if
that is.
Balatro wins, then that's just a win. The corporate
Like,
stooges aren't going to be pumping out
We're gonna be
remakes
riddled
and
with fucking hard
yeah.
games
riddled
next year.
with
And
extreme
you know what?
solitaire.
If Balatro wins over Shadows of the Erdtree, like, I will take everything back. I will apologize. I will buy another copy of Balatro.
Balatro. Nah, I
I
just uh
I will buy it
I
on on the PC. I will buy it on the work phone.
buy it on the Switch.
you'll have it for
um,
every console and every phone, your iPad.
Yeah,
I'll put it on my fucking Roku TV.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you guys like on pretty much everything. I don't have an issue with a mobile game being nominated for Game of the Year. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's where some of the hate is coming from. Maybe not all of the hate. But I not having not played it, I can't really say whether it's a really fantastic game or a really shitty game. Um, but from the way you described it, it does sound like fun, but also like, yeah, not what I would consider game of the year. Um, because it, if we're going like, okay, yeah, I have a lot of fun with it, and it's probably the game that I play the most, then Pokemon Go would have won, like, you know, in
Yeah.
2016 when it
Yeah.
came out. Like, that would have been my game of the year, but like, no, it's not really like a
Mhm.
game of the year, right? It doesn't have that
Yeah.
gravitas. It's a fun game, and I
Mhm.
like playing it, and I like, spending my time on it, but game of the year, like, no, I don't think so.
Mhm.
Um, and that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from Balatro. If I were to play it, I'd probably like it, and yeah, I'd probably waste
Yeah.
a lot of time on it. Waste
Mhm.
with air
Yeah.
quotes. But I don't know. I'd also be like, you know what? Fucking uh, what came out this year? Mech Assault.
Yeah.
Mech Assault is way cooler than this shit, man.
Mhm.
Astrobot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Astrobot way cooler than this, man.
Mhm. But Astrobot is nominated for Game of the Year,
Yes,
though.
it is. Yeah, the Astrobot's one of the other
I
ones that
I
got
would
nominated.
say like yeah, like if I had to take out like Shadow of the Erdtree or Balatro, what would I put in there? Oh, easily. Silent Hill 2 and Sonic and Shadow Generations.
Black Ops.
Mhm.
Just to go against
Or Black Ops, yeah.
just to go against Sonic. Just to go against Sonic.
Hey, well, I'll give you this one. Black Ops has a nomination at the Game Awards. Sonic and Shadow got 0 nominations.
Yeah. But what Black Ops was nominated, I think, for like something.
Multiplayer.
No, not multiplayer. I think it's like innovative or something or distribution
Really?
because it's you don't have to go out and buy it. If you have Xbox Game Pass, you can just play it. I forgot. I got to look up
Mm,
the. I forgot the name of the category.
yeah,
There's a
innovation and accessibility.
yes, that's the one. That I mean, innovation wise, it's like I mean the
But
Omni movement really, and then the
yeah, that
accessibility is just the hey, it's on Game Pass. You don't have to go spend out the
No,
fucking
that
80
so I
bucks.
don't I don't think that's why it's nominated because
Really, that's what I would have thought.
typically when they mean accessibility, they mean that they have some type of setting or feature that helps players with some type of like handicap or disability
It could be the
that
sound one
lets
that you have to pay for.
that I don't know if you have to pay extra for it. I don't know if that
There's a
would put it.
controversy because there is a system that if you want to hear better through your headphones, you can pay to hear your footsteps and everything better. You pay a monthly subscription to a company so you can
Okay.
hear better. And the argument is like, well, that's pay to win. Because if I can hear the
Mm,
footsteps and I can hear everything better than my other opponent, then I have a huge advantage against them.
mhm,
Also, I don't want to pay $20 because it's like some kind of like they map out your ears and make it perfect, the sound perfect for
mhm,
your own personal ears, just like a personal profile. I think it's like $20 a month. But like I'm not paying that. I'm already paying a lot of money,
mm,
for
yeah,
this.
no.
I don't want to pay for another subscription just so I can hear better. I think I'll be fine with my Turtle Beach. I'm okay with that.
yeah.
Besides, I'm a casual gamer. I'm not like these fucking dudes who are. I'm not like these fucking
Yeah.
sweats who are out there, beating the shit out of 12-year-olds and 40-year-olds like me who just got off work. Like, all right, let's go play some multiplayer. Fuck. Um, that's what I maybe that could be the innovation that they're talking about. But I feel like
uh,
It's possible. Mhm.
I don't know.
yeah, maybe I
I
don't
thought it was
know,
because of the
but
Game Pass thing. That's what I thought the
nah,
accessibility
because
meant.
Game
Like,
Pass has been around for
No,
a while.
because
That seems
yeah,
like a weird one to like.
to yeah that and like there's other games that have come out with simultaneous release on Game
on
Pass.
Game Pass.
Yeah, so and
Yeah,
like I said,
feature
that
stuff.
category it typically it's been for like that, like for putting in some type of accessibility feature for some
Yeah,
type of
like
disability or handicap,
colorblind
Yeah.
like
assistance
yeah,
and
like
stuff like,
colorblind sliders or audio cues for like blind players, stuff like that.
or Fortnite has one where you can see the footsteps, like if someone's close to
Yeah.
you,
hmm
you get a little like not a radar
like
blip,
a
but you see like a little
like a
indicator.
little notification, like a heads on the heads up display showing like
Yeah,
this
that sh-
sound coming from this direction. Yeah.
and that's to help people that are hard of hearing or
Yeah.
idiots like me that are watching YouTube in the background while I'm.
Right. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I played Fortnite with the game completely on mute,
Yeah,
and I
yeah, that's
still
what I
got a
do.
win. I got a win. Like like I got a crown for
Yeah,
playing like that. So it is very it works is what I'm
yeah,
trying to say. Um so
So
it's for stuff like that. Typically that category, that nomination. Um
so I had to look it up because it was bothering the shit out of me. But according to Google, according to Game Rant, the biggest new accessibility addition comes in the form of Black Ops 6 new asymmetrical hearing compensation settings. With these settings, the players with asymmetrical hearing loss can create custom audio profiles to cater to the game's audio levels to each ear.
okay.
okay, so yeah, that's for people
So
like Theo Chema that
that are
Yeah,
hard of
like
hearing on one
yeah,
ear, you can
have
put it
tinnitus.
so
Yeah.
it's specific on your good ear. Okay, that's cool. That's neat. So yeah, and I very much am a proponent of a lot of these features should be the norm when it comes to games.
yeah.
You know, but
Especially
I get
nowadays,
it. But
it's
I
just
I get
annoying.
why it's because it takes time and it costs money. But it's one of those where like I think this should be the default, dude. Think kind of
Yeah,
like how movies like it's default they have to have subtitles,
yep,
like no one thinks twice about what do you mean this movie doesn't have subtitles. I feel like with games it should be the same thing, like
yeah,
colorblind sliders and accessibility features for the hard of hearing, all that shit should be the default, the basic, just like subtitles with movies.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
okay, this episode is running kind of long, so do you guys want to keep going? Talk about another controversy with the Game Awards, or should we wrap things up here? What do you guys want to do?
Um, if you don't want to keep talking about the controversy, if you want to wrap it up, I think the last thing we should talk about is our predictions. Who do we think is going to win? It doesn't have to be every category. We can always do our predictions for game of the year, and maybe
Mm,
one of the other categories can be like, oh well, I think, or if because like Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Balatro, they're all nominated in several categories.
yeah.
So who do you think is going to win game of the year? Who do you think is going to sweep? Like who do you think is going to win the most? And then just some one other category that you think, oh, I think this is why they're going to, oh, who's going to win in this category. Or if
Okay.
you want to keep talking about controversies, I'm down. Shit, I got time, bro. I got time.
Well, the other
um,
controversy kind of ties into
it's
it.
kind of weak. Yeah, it's a little weak too, like on the
It,
scale at least.
What is it? What's the other controversy?
The fighting
uh,
game one,
yeah.
Oh, the
or
fighting game when you were talking about earlier.
So
Okay,
it, and like it kind of ties into the game of the year one because it's
yeah,
essentially the same argument. Like,
mm-hmm.
it wasn't a
uh,
real game back then, and it was nominated, but now all of a sudden it's nominated again.
well, it's a re-release. Like, so in the fighting game category, they put the Marvel vs. Capcom collection.
Capcom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nominated for best fighting game, but it's like they're all just re-releases, and two of them in there
Oh,
ain't even a fighting game.
multiverses.
multiverses is also in there.
Multiverses also is like it was nominated when it was
A
a beta,
beta.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and now that it's a full fledged release, it's nominated again, and that's like
fucking
that's kind
betas.
of nah.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
and it also kind of ties into game of the year because I saw some people saying that like, well, then uh Final Fantasy Remake shouldn't be nominated because
It's a remake.
it's a remake. It's a real,
Re-
and I'm like,
Yeah.
with Final Fantasy VII Remake and whatever the new one's called, it's not remake. It's like re something.
Yeah.
That one I can see the argument to nominate it because it's not even really a remake. Like it's a pseudo sequel in many.
It 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 goes into my Persona 5
well, you
argument in that
have
it
to look
is
at
a
the price.
standalone game. It's a sequel. It
Yeah,
is you need to buy this game. It is Final Fantasy 7 Part 2.
yeah, and
You
not
know.
only that, like it doesn't play like I can't go out and buy the original Final Fantasy VII
Yeah,
and
Mhm.
play the remake and be like, these are the exact same thing. But like
Yeah.
with the Marvel vs. Capcom ones, yeah, I could find an arcade cabinet and play the original
yeah,
Marvel vs. Capcom or play the one
Mhm.
on the Switch, and it's the exact same game. Like, there's nothing
Mhm.
different about that one. Um,
Mhm.
Multiverses, yeah, they probably changed some shit with the beta, but then the beta shouldn't have been nominated. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, that's sort of that was the only real controversy there, and it's.
Mhm.
Eh.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
don't
as for
I don't think they're gonna win, so like it
yeah.
doesn't.
yeah, I like honestly for fighting game, I would give it to Tekken 8.
Tekken 8's well, I stand Tekken, so it makes sense there.
Mhm.
Sparking Zero, maybe, but I think Tekken 8
I think like yeah, like I've
or
played both and I would still give it to Tekken 8.
Grand Blue Fantasy might have a legitimate shot because it's Arc System Works, isn't it? It's the
It
same
is,
people that
yeah.
make
It's
they
a
make
very
some good
beautiful
fighting
game.
games.
Yep.
um, but
Mm.
yeah, in terms of predictions, well, I predict Tekken 8 for fighting game.
Yeah, same.
My predictions. I'll go with my prediction. My prediction for game of the year is going to be Balatro, and the reason is I think Balatro, but I think it's because it's got a lot of momentum behind it.
It
That's the reason
does.
I think it's good. That's the advantage I think it has because it has so much momentum behind it right now that I think Balatro is going to win. The black sheep or not the black sheep, but what is it called? Like the dark
Black Myth.
horse. The dark
Yeah.
horse I think would be Black Myth Wukong. I think
Yeah.
Black Myth Wukong
Hmm.
is the dark horse, the one that can come back and be like, oh shit. Yeah, it was nominated, but everybody kind of was like, nah, Black Myth Wukong isn't really a threat. But I think Black Myth Wukong is a threat. I think it is a very much threat.
Hmm.
So, and with Astrobot, I just think Astrobot's just fun. That's why it was nominated.
No, yeah, that
It's a
game's
fun
great.
game to
Yeah.
play.
Hmm.
But I just think Balatro's going to take it because right now it does have so much momentum behind it with so
Hmm.
many people like almost sounds like they're addicted to it. And I think was it like Astrobot, Balatro, and all the game of the years are nominated in like several different categories. I'm thinking that either Black Myth or Balatro is going to take the most awards home.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think they're going to take the most awards home.
I agree with you that Black Myth Wukong is probably the dark horse.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be super surprised if it won, but I don't
Hmm.
expect it to win.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
think Balatro's going to win at least 4 categories.
Balatro will probably win several categories. That's the
Yeah.
one that might sweep, depending on how
Yeah.
many categories it's nominated for.
I mean, I think it's nominated for like best indie game, best mobile game.
I could see it
Uh,
winning.
Independent game.
Yeah, I could see
mm,
it winning those categories.
Yeah.
yeah, me too. I
I
don't know about game of the year.
Yeah, I don't think it's taking
Yeah.
Game of the Year.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Black Myth Wukong is going to take Game of the Year. The one that I
Honestly,
want to win is Astro Boy. Like,
Yeah, Astrobot,
Yeah,
yeah.
I want Astrobot to win, but like, I think because they fought so hard to have Elden Ring, like making sure, like, hey guys, just so you know, Elden Ring can be nominated again.
yeah,
That's what leads me to think that Elden Ring might take it again. Shadow of the
Yeah.
Erdtree.
yeah.
But yeah, though obviously the one I would want would be Astrobot
Yeah.
because I love that game. That game is so great.
The last two that I'm going to comment on that I think that I want to say predict wise, anyways, because it would be best adaptation would be Arcane. I think
Okay.
would win. I think with Fallout coming in a close second, and I think it's going to be between those two. I think Arcane is going to win best adaptation. And then the most anticipated game, I'm thinking it's either going to be Ghost of Yote or Grand Theft Auto 6.
Okay, I'm
For
glad you brought that up because that one's also controversial because how the fuck do you rank most anticipated? Because I honestly think Grand Theft Auto 6 should win
you think
most
so?
anticipated because dude, the trailer broke records. It was the
Yeah.
highest viewed trailer in all of gaming. It got the same amount of views as Grand Theft Auto 5's trailer in its lifetime. Grand Theft Auto 6 got it in an hour.
I'm thinking it's because
So,
everybody's angry at Grand Theft Auto 6 for edging us for so goddamn long. Like,
but
just let me
but
finish.
But
but
that's also
now the flip side of it is we've seen no gameplay for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Nothing.
Meanwhile, Dead Stranding 2 has dropped
Yeah.
trailers with gameplay, and they've just shown off more of that one
hmm
compared to Grand Theft Auto 6. So, how can you argue that it's more anticipated when we don't know shit about it?
I mean, you could say you could use like data, and if you use pure data, then Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to win. I think
Mm-hmm.
on pure data. I think this was just based on your feelings, really. Well, I mean, everything kind of is, but I feel like the anticipation one really is based on who's feeling the most, and I just think that Grand Theft Auto 6 and Ghost of Yote are the top two front runners. Ghost of Yote, we already got a really cool trailer. I hopefully I'll have a PS5 by that point or a PC
Mm-hmm.
so I can fucking play it. Because it's goddamn PlayStation exclusive, son of a bitch. And Grand Theft Auto 6, yeah, like I really, really, really want to play Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah.
I want to get back into a Grand Theft Auto game, especially, and those
Mhm.
are one of those games that's gonna be their DLC. If they do a DLC category for the next couple of years, fucking Grand Theft Auto is gonna be in that bitch every year. They always drop some really good expansions to it, and the games last
Mhm.
for a long time. That's why they can get away with that kind of stuff.
And in Grand Theft Auto 5, at least, all the updates and expansions were free. They weren't
Yeah,
even extra.
yeah.
yeah.
Which I think that's such a great thing on Rockstar's part. It's like I
Yeah.
already paid for all this game, and now you're giving me extra shit for free, so I can keep playing.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. All right.
yeah.
Well,
Those are my predictions. So
I
you guys,
guess
let me.
for the one more prediction I want to add
Yeah.
is best performance.
Ooh.
So that one, I want to give it to my boy Luke Roberts, nominated for Silent Hill 2. I really liked his performance in that game because I really like that game. So I I hope he takes that one. That and because I feel like Silent Hill 2 got a little snubbed at the awards. It only got a few nominations. I think it deserved a spot at the Game of the Year nomination. But if it's gonna get one, I would definitely give it a performance.
Wow. Star
Is there
Wars
a horror
Outlaws is in
game
that cat.
category this year?
There is not a horror game
Nope.
category.
I guess there was only one that came out.
Right.
Wow.
No, that Five Nights at Freddy's pixelated one came out also.
Pixels ain't scary.
Hey,
uh,
Silent Hill might take score and music, but I feel like Final Fantasy is gonna take that.
yeah, that one. Those usually go to RPGs.
hmm
They have like fucking orchestra, unless there's a
I wouldn't
Mario
be
game.
shocked if the is that Metaphor one nominated for music? Because if
Oh, you
so, I
know
think
what?
that one
Yeah,
might
it
win
is.
it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think Metaphor is gonna take music then.
I forgot that Metaphor was nominated for Game of the Year. That
Yeah.
one might all. If it's not Astrobot, I would give it to
Metaphor.
Metaphor.
He's
It's
a
just
Metaphor
darker
riff on
horse.
Tazio.
it's just Persona only in a fantasy setting.
A fan, yeah.
Oh,
So yeah,
Hmm.
it's if you like.
There's a demo, and the demo is free. It's, I believe, the prologue chapter for those that are curious.
Yeah. I don't know. What were the categories you mentioned, Paco?
let's see. I did Game of the Year. I also did Best Adaptation.
Oh, best
And
adaptation. I would actually probably give it to Fallout, even though that today I was watching a video, or Mark thought I was rewatching Fallout, and and I was like, no, I was watching a video because I noticed something as I was watching the show,
mhm.
but I kind of just let it slide. And then this video was exactly about the thing that I let slide, and was like, well, maybe this guy knows more shit than I do. He does not. I, I mean,
just,
he does know more shit about like Fallout, but like he still didn't have an answer.
Yeah.
all right. Just to be the contrarian for that one, I'm gonna give it to Knuckles.
Ugh.
Knuckles.
It was pretty good though. I liked
I
it.
did like
watched
Knuckles.
The
it.
show,
I liked
no,
it.
like legit, guys. The show is actually good. Like
I
I
I
like
did
love
that
the
like
show.
Idris
Knuckles.
Elba's just kind of having fun with it.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what I
he
like. Like
absolutely.
Idris Elba, like he's such a serious actor. He does
He
such great
produced the
work.
show, so
He did?
that
Wow.
yeah, so he very much liked playing Knuckles.
It's great to me that some of these like really serious, really good like dramatic actors and action stars are doing just some funny ass roles. Just like
Mhm.
stuff you would never expect. Like I would never expect fucking Knuckles to be voiced and played by Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Like it just like that's Idris Elba, dude. That's fucking Luther. Like he's to me it looks like he's having such a great. It feels like he's having a good time just doing this off the wall shit. He's Knuckles. He's doing this off the wall shit. I still am petitioning for Danny DeVito to be a goddamn Pikachu. To be the goddamn Pikachu.
He's not gonna do it,
I know
bro.
he's not going to do it because he doesn't know nothing about it. But I just want to show up to his house one day with just a stack of Pokemon cards. I guess what you're learning today. You're learning about this, and you're gonna be detective.
I feel like he's gonna pick up the Munchlax and be like, "Why can't I be this one?"
You're like, you know what? Go for it. Fucking go for it. If this will get you in the Pokemon world, fucking go for it. He can be a Munchlax. He can be fucking Mewtwo for all I fucking care.
What's
He
the
can
one
be
that looks
Mew.
like a garbage bag? Trubbish.
Trubbish. Yeah. I'm trash.
I'm the trash man. I eat garbage.
I throw trash all over the ring, and then I eat garbage.
You're like, you're perfect, Frank. Yeah, no, it's no, but yeah, okay. So Knuckles is your choice. Okay, we'll see,
Mhm.
we'll see. We'll do a recap once the
Mhm.
the show happens. The Game Awards happen. We'll do our recap and see which one of us was right. Whoever's right has to get. Whoever's wrong has to get the Balatro tattoo.
Oh no! In that case, I'm changing my answer.
You gotta get a Balatro tattoo on your neck.
No, I'm changing my answer then.
Joker for life. Gotta get that Joker, that Balatro Joker on your neck.
I'm picking Fallout for 2 reasons. Walton Goggins
Yeah.
It's a good choice.
and Ella Purnell.
Oh,
She
Ella
she
Purnell.
hot.
Well, if Arcane or Fallout wins, then Ella Purnell wins either way because she's the voice in
Jinx.
Arcane and she's in Fallout. She's Jinx, which I didn't know she was.
So what
Jinx
you're
either.
saying is the trick to having a best adaptation is to cast Ella in.
Ella Purnell and possibly
Yeah.
Walton Goggins
So
because that guy's hilarious.
Last of Us season 3.
Oh, Walton
Get
Goggins
on
or
it.
Ella?
Oh, Walton Goggins there.
or
Actually,
Ella Purnell or both.
You know what I want to see? The next new show I want to see is Billy Bob Thornton and Walton Goggins going at each other, like arguing and talking shit to each other. That I feel would be put the Landman and Justified together, and it's just Walton Goggins and Billy Bob Thornton. If you watch Landman on Paramount, it's actually pretty decent. Billy Bob Thornton cracks me the fuck up in that show.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, so that's my next dream team up right there. Buddy cop movie, Billy Bob Thornton and Walton Goggins as country buddy cops.
All right. Any last comments before we wrap things up?
I think I'm good.
No.
No.
Yeah.
I
All
said my
right then.
piece.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hope you guys
Okie
enjoyed that.
dokie.
Yeah.
An extra long
Extra long episode.
episode
Extra
for
long
you
episode.
guys to make up for the fact that there wasn't an episode last week. So let us know in the comments what you guys think is going to win Game of the Year. And likewise, let us know, do you think Shadows of the Erdtree should have been eligible for a Game of the Year category? We would love to know your opinions and thoughts on it.
Yes.
So let us know what's going on in those comments, you alphas.
We get
And
spammed with
until then,
comments.
we will see you all
Next
on the
time.
next one.
Peace.
Peace.